Hello and welcome to the SRA Specific Skills Writing Process Book F. This is our 6th grade level book. By all means, you don't have to be a 6th grader to utilize the exercises and the notes that are presented in this book. I always do my disclaimer at the very beginning. So if you're using this book as part of your, since we're in the COVID-19 situation, this is for educational purposes only, so if you want to print out each, go page by page and print out the book of what's going on, you can do that. But I highly suggest if you're using if you're going to be doing that, use sheet protectors, because you can use dry erase markers or vis-a-vis markers, and they're easy to clean off with Lysol wipes or Windex and some paper towels. Or just regular face tissues. They can just rub right off whatever ink you have there. But to really take this book and learn the information that's properly presented here and use the best practices, you should be writing everything down. So at the beginning of every unit in these books, they have a little box at the top that's going to give you the rules of what's going on in that for those particular exercises, that you're going to look at those notes and follow to answer the questions that are provided in the exercises. So make sure you're copying everything down word for word, and you don't have to just use regular notebook paper and pen and pencil. Use some construction paper and some markers. You can take this opportunity now to start color coding. So once you're learning a specific skill and you're asked to do some proofreading or editing, you can pick one marker color for another. So you can underline titles or in one color, but anything that's grammatical or punctuation, each color can have a different service or provide a different service. So green could be punctuation, red could be underlining, and any kind of changing of the paragraphs, so like ordering paragraphs and things like that. Those are just some examples. And these would be great to make little booklets out of, because you're going to need to always retain this information to use in writing for the rest of your career, even professional writing when you get into as a job or a career in communicating information through different formats, emails, letterhead letters, memos, and things like that, because this covers that type of writing as well. What am I forgetting? Oh, at the end, there is going to be an answer key, so you can utilize the answer key if you want to just go straight to the end and look at the answer key to see the breakdown of the units, how many units are covering one specific skill set. You can do that, but make sure that you're reading to the teacher and to the student pages. I am going to actually pause on the to the student page to kind of show you what's presented there. I'm not going to read it word for word, but you can pause the video and read it at your own time and kind of see what's going on. I'm just going to show you the importance of that particular page so that you don't end up skipping over it, because it's very important to do. All right, without further ado, here we go. And here is to the student page. As you can see here, Book F, all the books will have an overview of what's being covered in the book. So as you can see, these are the writing process steps that are going to be covered. But by all means, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. No, there's a total of 12 units. So here they're going to provide you with an example. So they're identifying here that within the notes or within the rules, they're going to present the information in visual format to an actual example of what's being asked and how to provide the information. So make sure that when you look at the rules and the examples that are provided, that you understand what's going on. It's nice when they add little visuals. You can get used to doing that too, to make it a little bit more fun and interesting. And then down here, so they have a visual format of, this would be done in the drafting stage. your mapping of the information when you're getting ready to prepare to write. But this here is also showing in the proofreader section an example of what you'll find as the example or the modeling component to the box at the top that has the rule box is what they call it, that provides the modeling there. They'll show you what they're expecting. So the expectations are clear on what you need to do for each question in the exercise. And of course, at the very end, just like every classroom, a teacher has to provide the learning objective and learning goal. This is a learning objective and the learning goal of the entire book. So writing is a continuous process, and you're just going to build on it from one grade to the next. I've used this for middle schoolers, high schoolers, SAT and ACT prep students. So depending on where they're at and how well they understand and how much practice they need, I will put them in a D, E, or F book. That's why I use these books, because these are the ones I use the most. They're the ones that I have, but I've had access to the other ones before. But I've not had G and H. I've usually just looked towards gone to Google, or teachers provide that within their classwork and the homework and the notes that they're doing. And of course, the teachers are going to give those resources to the students in either case, because now that we're in this COVID-19 situation, we have this digital learning that's going on. Technology is being heavily used to help supplement what's going on, and teachers are really relying on these electronic resources to help with developing the lessons that they're doing and really get across to them what the expectation is, making sure they're getting enough practice in there so that when they move on to the next grade level, that they're not going to struggle once we get back to our normal classroom attendance in the brick and mortar schools. So without further ado, I'm only going to spend 5 to 6 seconds per page, so that's enough time to just pause the video and do the work that's on there. Alright, I'm going to show you the answer key now. And as you go through some of these books, this is an older book, so there might be things that are going to need some explanation to kids that may not be familiar with things like VCRs and things like that. And I believe that in one of these books they mentioned Pluto, which Pluto is no longer a planet, but writing process is still important. Let me zoom in, and it hasn't changed over time, so it's still relevant in providing that skill. It's just maybe an element of humor that you can use to your benefit. And the answer key works in chronological order, so from left to right, from one column to the next, scrolling up and down. I'll show you the answers. And then the laps that are provided are going to naturally fall within the order in which you're doing the work anyways. So you don't have to stress out about that. And then just so that you have the last lap there, so you can see the words. So all these components are, now you see why it's important to have the letters. So if you're going to be writing everything out, you need to maintain the multiple choice letters with your answers. All right. And that concludes this book. You can go to KC Kite on YouTube to look at any more videos for SRA specific skills. I'll gradually be getting other things up there too. So just be forewarned. I'm starting out with writing and English related things because they're more tedious to do than with math for me, because those skill sets for math, they don't last very long. The videos shouldn't last very long, so I'm going to try and chunk certain skill sets together. But if you have any other questions, please make sure to leave comments on the videos. I am trying to get the G and H versions of these books, so I'm having a hard time getting them, and they're kind of expensive. So hopefully I'll be able to make those videos. But other than that, thank you for taking the time to look at this, and I hope it was helpful.